Hi, I'm Becky from Dot to Dot Studio.
And I'm Sarah from It's So Kotoko.
We'll start, as ever, by telling you what we're wearing, because that's normally what people ask us. I'm actually wearing, I've written it down because I don't have the pattern here, McCall's 7969, which is like a cult pattern. It came free with quite a few magazines, so loads of people have made this. In fact, I think one person was wearing it this morning in my class and another person was just finishing it. I've actually made mine as a top, because I quite fancied, I don't know, I just had a baby. I wanted something that was really voluminous, and I just thought that the proportions looked quite nice with either skinny trousers, or actually they work quite well with quite wide trousers, although you've got to be careful with
not to be doubly wide.
Yeah, exactly. You've got to have something slim, but I think because the sleeves are short and then you've got your wrists out, actually the proportions work quite nicely. But I have been thinking about this. When I put it on this morning, I was having a bit of a wobble because I couldn't actually put any of my cardigans over the top.
Oh, yeah, because it's got quite low.
And the sleeves are quite big, so it was a bit of a challenge getting my cardi on. But I did think what I might do to amend this slightly is actually put a little tie there and there, take that as a pleat, and then look how much narrower, because it fits then quite really snugly around the rib cage. And it puts a pleat through here, but because of the print, it doesn't actually matter, does it?
No.
So
really good
next time you see me wearing this, it might have
a bit more fitted.
It might even do it like a tab, so that I can do it with like a little button that's adjustable.
See, now I would consider wearing the top like that.
Yeah.
If it was more fitted, I never have I? I like
hello.
Yeah. I like fitted
bodycon.
I like fitted.
Whereas I prefer a bit of volume so I can eat more lunch. The other thing actually I did with this, which isn't on the original pattern, I put little darts in the back because
if you face that way, you can see them. They're just down here.
Yeah, and if I flip that up, you can see the inside. You can see how big the darts are.
Oh yeah, they're about a good couple of centimetres.
Yeah, they're about 2 centimetres on each side. And actually, every single one of my students who's made this, I've done that alteration on them for them before the skirts get gathered on. Anyway, so that's what I'm wearing.
And then is that bias tape?
This is a bias binding, which it does ask for you to make it out of the same fabric. I decided I really liked the way this contrasted. I thought the colours worked really nicely together, so I used a pre-bought one. This was actually, I think it was an Atelier Brunette. I think we're out of this now, but this was... And sad, I've just checked, we have just sold the last remnant of this fabric. But yeah, there's lots of other lovely fabrics. Have a look. And what are you wearing today?
I am wearing one of my absolute favourite patterns. I make it again and again and again. This one, this is from a very old fabric. I think this is made probably when I very first started my sewing journey. So that might have even been before I don't think you met the dress. I don't think you've met the dress. No. Yeah, I work as an event manager, so I love clothes that I can just fold away, put in my suitcase, take them out, put them on. They don't take up much room. I love dresses because they're a whole outfit. I don't like a skirt and a top. Yeah. And a top somehow always needs to be ironed. Somehow, I don't know why, but tops, they just... they just do.
Can you tell I don't have an iron in my house?
No, I can't. That actually looks really nice and smooth. That doesn't look like you have an iron.
Well, I kind of scrunched it on purpose. So when I last washed this, I kind of smoothed it into scrunches.
Smooth it down.
So it kind of, the pleats kind of, set in.
But very randomly, I couldn't tell you. There's a particular size I make. So obviously I have my original pattern. This one is cut to a size 14. And then I also have another one that I traced. I just printed out the front. This is me.
I love how organised you
are.
I
know. I ought to do, shouldn't I? I ought to do a
one day we're going to go round Sarah's and then
yes,
we'll go round Sarah's and we'll go like behind the scenes and we'll look at how you organise it.
I'd love you to see my
sewing. You can't see mine. I'm not letting you see one.
So yes, I traced it all out, and I've sometimes made them in a 12. And also I've made them in a 10, so ultimately depending on how much stretch the jersey is, and this one's a viscose jersey, but depending on the amount of stretch.
This is a single jersey. If you were making it in, say, something like a Ponte-Roma, you'd probably size up.
Size up.
Because it would be too firm, you'd feel like you're being like throttled in it.
Yes, sucked in. And then I've got other stretch fabrics that, I hate to say it, but a bit more polyester. And they're super fine. They're a bit more like, I don't really want to say it, but like a bit more spandex. I think that's the right word. And they're really stretchy. And
they're more like a pair of tights. In their kind of
tights or swimming costumey sort of. So thicker than tights, but it's just sort of. I don't mean shiny, but that sort of
Yeah,
bit of a sheen on it.
Yeah.
And then those straight down to a 10 because there's just so much movement in the fabric. If you make it in a 12, you've actually got like bits like hanging on fabric, and that's not nice at all. So yeah, I've got quite good now at just, I don't really know the composition, but I feel it, and I give it a bit of a tug, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's
how much
size
is that going to show my lumps and bumps?
Yeah. But I can't actually remember, but it doesn't use a lot of fabric, which was another reason that I really liked it. And just typically now I'm having a little look here. Maybe I'll just write in the bottom how much fabric it takes, because
it doesn't take a lot. I mean, you're looking at between 1 metre 10 if you make the smallest size in the widest fabric, and up to 2 metres 10 if you make the biggest size in the narrowest fabric.
Literally, and it's
a great little pattern actually. This one, I've made this a couple of times, and you can also just shorten it and make it into a top. So it's really good as a t-shirt, a vest. You've got a V-neck option, scoop neck, high round neck. And it's really versatile.
Also on your Instagram you showed me one where you've made the back lower. Maybe we could insert a picture.
We might try and pop a picture of that now. I made that to go on honeymoon. I just loved it was just the most gorgeous piece of fabric, and it wanted to be something that had just one piece. It wasn't broken up at all, because it was like you'll see. Hopefully you'll see. You'll have seen it on the picture. And it's very a big pictorial print, and so I didn't want to break it up with any seams, and so it worked really perfectly. Although I had to be quite careful where I placed the cockerel. I just thought that would be unfortunate. Have you seen my cock?
On your honeymoon?
On my honeymoon, yeah.
On your honeymoon as well.
Yeah, it was a really lovely dress though, and I always get compliments when I wear it. Although I feel a little bit like it's a bit clingy on me now, because I've changed shape quite a bit in the last 3 years. But yeah, I should really trace it out and make it again.
This probably didn't maybe used to be quite as snug on me, and when I made this about 4 years ago, but still, it still comes out the wardrobe and
it's lovely. It's really lovely.
Gets worn and worn.
Such huge colours as well.
I know. It ticks every box, doesn't it? And even the
meeting
dark,
you halfway today.
Almost, it's not even really black. It's like charcoal. So even the dark area isn't black. So so that's what we're wearing.
So we wanted to talk to you today about a really fantastic fabric called Rosella. It's a viscose and elastane weave, and I just think this is like the ultimate dress fabric, because it has everything that you need for comfort. So it's a natural fibre, it's got a lovely drape which makes up really nicely in a whole range of different things like blouses, dresses, jumpsuits and trousers. So it covers a whole range of different fabrics, but then it's got that little bit of secret stretch. So lovely. I've got several. I've got the patterned ones, and Sarah's got the plain ones, and I just wanted to show you how this drapes. And actually this one's too heavy. I'll do it with a lighter one, and I can really flap it about and let you see what it does. So it's got a lovely fall to it, and it's a twill weave. So if you don't know what a twill is, it's like so the fibres on the surface are slightly longer than they are on the back, and they kind of go slightly diagonally, the overall effect, but it's got a lovely texture.
It's absolutely beautiful.
It's really lovely texture. And then, like I say, it's got this extra bit of secret stretch, which isn't initially that obvious, but it just means that it's just super comfortable. So I'm actually about to make, for my trip to Australia.
Australia?
Yeah.
Are you going on holiday?
Yeah, maybe. Oh. I've just cut myself a piece of this. I know. I've got a piece of this on the drying rack at home, and it was actually inspired by your green trousers.
Oh, yes.
So Sarah's making some beautiful trousers from a viscose fabric that she picked up on one of her mini trips abroad.
On my Amsterdam trip. They're my Amsterdam trousers.
It's this green, isn't it, basically, but plain.
Yeah.
And I was like, I live with a toddler. I need something a bit more patterned.
So
this is going to be perfect.
Once you're on a flight, you can spill anything down that, and it's just going to forgive.
Well, and I will.
Everything. Well, Flora, I should say.
Maybe she will. Yeah.
Spill everything down that for you.
But I just think that as well, because it's lightweight, it's drapey, but it's not so light that you feel like you're not dressed.
No, and it is lightweight and it's really movable, but it feels like it's really got substance.
There's something to it.
Real substance. My really good friend Sue. Hello Sue, shout out. I know you'll be watching this. She's just made a wrap dress.
Did she use this colour?
She used this colour. We came in.
Yes, I remember.
And I spied it and I was like, I really like that fabric. And Sue's like, I really like that fabric, I'm going to get it. And she goes, you don't mind, do you? And I was like, no.
It's when
we're never going to wear it at the same time.
When people come in and go, oh, I really like that fabric, when it gets towards the end of the roll, I start to panic. I don't know if I can still get that one. I need to have some for me. So then I usually cut myself off just enough. Usually somewhere around about 1.8 metres, because that will either make a dress or, like, if I'm careful about cutting it out, maybe a jumpsuit. But if I decide then to make a top, I'll probably get a top and trousers.
Yes.
So the key to getting like the most out of a piece of fabric is to cut everything out at the same time, to get all your pattern pieces. If it's 2 garments, just make sure that you've marked which one's which, but put all of them on the fabric at once, and you'll be amazed at how much more you can get out of a piece of fabric. I'm the master of this, aren't I?
Oh, in my class the other week I came in, I bought some fabric, oh dear, on another trip, so this is the Munich fabric. and I came in and no it wasn't, it was Madrid, sorry, wrong M. Oh. Sorry, oh God, it's my Madrid trip. Yeah, I know. And I came in and I said to Becky, I said, I'm really not sure I've got enough of this fabric for this dress. And she says, yeah, you have. And I went, no, I'm really, really not sure. And lengthwise, we did need to go double the length. I had, about 1 centimetre spare when we actually laid it out. But loads spare. But with so much and me panicking, Becky managed to cut me out an Ogden as well. We have had to make one seam, one like extra little, under the arm. We did have to like a little insert. What would you call it?
On the bias, I call it a wheel piece. So I'm not sure whether you'd call it a wheel piece if it's on the straight grain, but we've just put a tiny seam where the garment flares like that.
Yes.
This panel here is just additional, and it's on the back anyway.
It is. It's sort of,
and we've almost
right
pattern matched. Well, you couldn't quite pattern match that print, but it was almost. You couldn't tell, but I cannot believe we've got an Ogden,
and it will be a. It will be done with the bias.
Just thought something.
Oh yeah, but yes. So I didn't have enough for all of the facings as well. So no, I'm not going to have that. But yeah, it was amazing, and I could not believe at all that I could actually get 2 items out of it when I was panicking that much that I didn't have enough for one.
Speaking of cutting an Ogden out, I found this in a bag the other day. I'm always doing this. Like I say, when I've got a bit extra, I always get out my trusty go-to, fit them on any scrap busting patterns. And this is actually this is an Ogden, but I've then adapted it by putting a little dart in it as well. And I've got a couple of.
My Ogden for me.
I did,
yes, yeah.
So by putting a dart in the front, I then made the back a little bit shorter because there's plenty of length in it for me. But I've got this pattern, I've got another self-drafted cami, and I've got some like sleep shorts, and I usually find I can probably fit those patterns out of the spare. So this one I found this unfinished. This is still unfinished, but I started putting it together yesterday, and this was left over from a dress I wore to a wedding a few years ago, which if I can find the picture I might put it in here, maybe not. Maybe I'll rummage through my phone later. So yeah, I've still got to understitch this and give it a good press because it does crease very badly. But yeah, bonus. Got a top out of it as well. So that will probably come on holiday with me. Won't go with those at all, it looks horrendous. No. But yeah, that's going to come with me.
And how much, just looking at this, how much stretch? So I'm just trying to, so that we can show the guys how
it's percentage wise.
Not even so much percentage, but just sort of like seeing it. So it's just got that.
Well,
it's trying to sort of, give you an idea, showing.
It's got 3% elastane, but the elastane content does not mean how much the percentage it stretches.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to think, if you look here, you can see that has actually got quite a. It's just enough to make things.
Yeah,
really help with fitting. Because if you have got a pair of trousers that are reasonably fitted, and you just when there's no movement at all in the fabric, you're really stuck. Or when you sit down, you get those sort of like little creasy bits. But I kind of feel with that they make lovely.
This works even when the pattern says for non-stretch wovens. To an extent, if it's something that really requires a very tight fit and it's very structured, you wouldn't want to go with this.
You couldn't do that.
You couldn't
do this in it because this is pulled
stretch.
over. Yes, and it needs to stretch.
That needs to stretch lengthways as well.
Oh, okay,
so this is, you'd still only be able to substitute this in for. This has to be for woven patterns, not for just stretch knits only. It's not the same thing. So this is a stretch woven. We've actually picked out some we thought would be really nice, with all sort of autumnal makes in mind.
Yeah, this was the cashmerette, and it's the rose Claire dress, and I really liked it. I like it because it's just got sleeves. I mean, they're not super long sleeves, but again, it's just the, coming into autumn and making sure that you've got.
We've had such a long autumn.
I know,
we're almost technically in winter now, but doesn't feel like it.
Doesn't, does it? And that's just a little bit of detail there, but we'll pop little pictures in. We've put links to the bits below there, so that's there. And then these are some of the other ones.
So all of these patterns are for just wovens, but I think all of them would they benefit from having just that comfort you get. It's like when you go to drive the car and you've got to sit in that position, you just need that much more room across your shoulders. That's for me when it really comes into its own.
Kicks in. I loved it. As soon as I picked it up, I was like, oh, that's nice.
Driving dress, if you like.
There we go. Look at that. So that's the hinterland dress.
That's a really popular pattern.
So that's that one. And then if you look on, I don't know if, again, we can pop pictures in there. That's by So Liberated. So you can see the line drawings there. So that's a really nice
this one I can personally vouch for, because I think I've had 3 students make this exact pattern. So this is the taker dress, which by Named Patterns, and it says lightweight or medium non-stretch shirting. It works fantastically well in the Rosella. Debbie made it, Sue has made it, and 2 of my students actually were wearing Rosella this morning, and I completely forgot to take a photograph. I should have done, because I could have shown you photographs of that as well. But
let's WhatsApp them. They just might send you one.
Maybe they will, yeah. Maybe. But that's another fantastic dress for, it's transitional really, you can wear it through all the seasons. And that's what I like about this so much, is that it's got natural warmth because it's a natural fibre, but it's not too hot to wear in the summer. Yeah. And in the blistering heat you wouldn't go for something quite as heavy as this, you want something lighter. But you can wear it all year round.
Such a nice, it's really, well, it's got that cool thing again because it's natural fibre.
I'd wear this in the winter over like a thin thermal. I love my thermals. I'm actually wearing a vest today as well. But yeah,
and I think of that and a lovely pair of boots. You know, sort of like something like that there. And a nice pair of boots. And then,
did we show that one?
I think I was going to do a jumpsuit at the end. Yeah. So then this was the
Lilia. So this is like the kilo dress, or kilo. I actually don't know how to pronounce that.
Kilo. I don't know why I've always pronounced it like that. There we go. Kilo.
Which is, again, like I've got cult following. But this one is for non-stretch fabric. But we think you could cheat, and this, because it is woven, but it would give you just that little bit of extra comfort. I might be wrong on that, but I've got a hunch that this would be super comfy, made in a Rosella. So that's the Lilia pattern. And you wanted to mention the jumpsuit there.
I did. The Avenir jumpsuit by Friday Pattern Company, because I just thought, how comfortable would that be to have a jumpsuit made from the woven fabric,
the cheeky bit of stretch.
Just that cheeky little bit of room. It's not even really stretches; it's just comfort.
Just a bit.
I just kind of the way I see that. So it's like a bit of comfort and a bit.
It gives, but then it goes back because it's got the elastane. It naturally recovers. Yeah, exactly.
So that's really nice. So I thought that would be a really, really nice pattern to make.
We should probably just show everybody the colours.
Yeah, exactly. So I just wanted to bring. So these are the plain colours. So this is exactly the same.
It's exactly the same weave,
composition.
Same composition.
But again, if you wanted trousers or.
Do you know what would be really good to show you is the white one, because then you can see how see-through it is. Because like it's lovely to wear white clothes in the summer, but often you don't want to show your pants. And this is actually a really reassuring thickness. So if I just unwrap this,
I'm just going to move those out of the way so you can see Becky holding that.
If I hold it up over what I'm wearing, you can see a little bit,
barely,
but really not that much. And it's still light enough.
Yeah.
So you could wear this over probably nude coloured underwear, but without it being it's not too transparent. No, so it'd make really, really nice trousers, skirts, dresses, cami tops, just a whole range of different things. But
I'd love to make a pair of summer trousers in that.
I know.
Just straight out and again, just to have that little bit of
cargo pants you're making. The ones that Sarah's making in green, that's the whites. Now I wish I had the lifestyle where I could wear white trousers. So we've got this in white. We've got a lovely bright sort of I don't know what kind of blue you'd call that. It's just a lovely clear blue, foresty green.
Favourite colour in the world. My favourite colour.
I'd call this leaf rather than olive. If I had an olive this colour, I'd worry.
Okay. Yeah, maybe.
It's an olivey.
I kind of think that's an olivey khaki. Olivey khaki.
Khaki to me is a lot more brown.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
It's a fresh, natural green. This is a sort of menthol kind of green. There's a lovely slightly purpley, inky navy. I wouldn't call that true navy, I think that's slightly more on the purple spectrum. And then there's a glorious bright pink. So that's the plain colours we've got in stock. We do actually get different colours of this in throughout the year as well, so it's always worth checking back if you particularly like the idea of Rosella. So,
and actually, then it's a great value fabric. It's £12 a metre.
Yeah, I think the
plains.
print ones are a little bit more. The print is £14.50 a metre. So we've obviously got the green that I've been waxing lyrical about. That's a lovely colour as well for autumn. But then you could wear it in the summer because it's got that white in it. It kind of has a lift. It doesn't. It's not too dark.
In fact, you could team that up with using the white from here.
Yeah.
In sort of like the same, so you kind of got like a similar weight, and then yes, it wouldn't be translucent at all.
Then there's this one, which is almost like a micro leopard print in a sort of copper rust colour. And sorry, did you want to have a little fondle?
Yeah, I was thinking, do you know what I think as well would be amazing in these? I know it's sort of technically wrong season for cool sleepwear, but can you imagine this as sleepwear, just having that little bit of give?
PJs.
Yeah, really posh PJs. Just having that little bit of give, and this has kind of got that really, to me, just that little nice, making this something.
It also, because of the twill weave, doesn't crease that much.
No, it doesn't look. All of these.
I mean, these have been sort of shoved in on the rack, but it doesn't crease that much. This one's just come in, so it's still a full roll. I think the colours on that are lovely.
They're amazing, but they're your colours. They're not mine.
Yeah. It's just great stuff.
I think the colours are amazing, and I love the design and I love the colours. I just know that if I put that on,
like it with the trousers.
It does actually looks really good. Quick top up. I think the problem is whenever we do one of these videos, I think of everything I want to make. I was thinking I haven't got the hours in the day to make as many items as I keep seeing that I'd like. So, they're really beautiful.
I really do think that viscose is like the ultimate dress fabric because it's affordable. It doesn't crease, depending on the weave, it doesn't crease too badly, and it's made from plant fibres, which is sustainable. I just think it's great, and this particular one with the added stretch, winner.
Really nice. And you had some other viscoses that you just wanted to mention. You did, because you had some really nice ones coming recently.
So the other thing I wanted to touch on today is people get really, really confused between fibre content and weave. So quite often people come in and say, oh, I want some silk. And they don't mean they want silk at all, they mean they want something silky and floppy and drapey and maybe slippery. So they might actually want a polyester satin. It's not at all silk, it couldn't be further from silk. But I thought, so I'd show you just the range of different fabrics you can get that made from one fibre. I haven't actually prepared this, so I'll just kind of pull some stuff out to show you. Yeah. So we've talked about this, which has got elastane content as well. Then there are really lightweight viscoses, which we've talked about quite a few times before.
Because I love them.
The art gallery ones.
Yeah.
So this is probably a bit creased because it's just come out the rack as well. But this is much lighter weight fab print. Actually, this has got really light and drapey, great for summer. Too light for this time of year, really.
Yeah. Unless it's an undergarment, it could be a top to wear under a suit or under a.
But then if you were wearing really under, you probably would find it creased too much. And I think if you need something for warmth like that, then I'd actually go for like a merino wool base layer or something like that. But if it's just a bit of a splash of colour, or even at this time of year, a scarf.
Of course.
So that's kind of the lightest weight. You can see how light and drifty that is. That's sort of the lightest weight woven viscose. This is then kind of 2 steps up. There's a kind of in between as well. So like this one, which is heavier, it's still a plain weave, same as this.
What did you make from this? You've made something from this.
Not this one. No? No, a few people in class have made this. So that's also a viscose, just a little bit heavier. Again, plain weave. Then we jump to the same kind of weight, but a completely different animal because it's a crepe weave. So this one, this is very, very similar to what you made your Charlie Kaftan out of.
Okay.
Oh no, what Emma made her Charlie Kaftan, and everyone just went, oh my god, I need to have that pattern. So this is a similar weight, but it's much heavier in its fall because it's a crepe weave. Yeah, it's a rougher texture.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring this up to the mic. It's rougher texture. Really lovely to wear, cool to wear as well.
It feels like it would be cool. It
one.
just has a real feeling, and it's got a lovely drape, hasn't it?
It's got a beautiful drape. This would make, I mean, this would look gorgeous in all those kind of ruffles, lots of flowing layers, tiered dresses. This would look, I didn't bring any patterns for this, but I love this. This also, I've got my eye on a pattern. Can't remember the name of it. It's got a V in it, a V-neck yoke, and then gathers from the yoke. It's just gorgeous. Anyway, that is firmly on that list. This fantasy list for this other life where I have time to actually sew all these things. But that's what I'd call a crepe Marrakein. So it's got a good weight to it. It's a crepe weave, so the fibres are twisted much more tightly when they're woven, which gives it a kind of springiness. Again, gives it a kind of crease resistance.
It makes it look like a nice pair of like wide pants. Do you know, like just summer, really flowing. Yeah.
Maxi dresses as well, just lovely in that. And then this is a twill weave that isn't stretchy. So it's got a similar fall to the Rosella. It's almost sort of brushed feeling, very, very slightly like brushed feeling.
That almost. Oh, what's the name of it? It's not peach skin, but it's got that slightly. It's got very delicate. It's got a very delicate feel. You kind of want to touch it.
That would make a gorgeous blouse. I mean, to be honest, that would make all the patterns that we've mentioned as well. But this doesn't have that cheeky bit of stretch in it. No. So I mean, these are all behaving. You know, there's a similarity between them, but they're all behaving quite differently. And then you've obviously got jersey. Yeah. So viscose jersey, and that can come in all different weights as well.
Yeah, you just had that just to sort of show one in there.
So that's.
I love the feel of viscose jersey. It's just it's so soft. Really, really nice.
Yeah, again, it's got that lovely drape to it.
I have washed and washed and washed and washed this dress.
Yeah.
It's 4 years old. It has lost a tiny bit of the colour. I have to say, like, you know, it's a tiny bit. But being 4 years old, it's not surprising in the amount I wear it. But it hasn't bobbled or anything. Do you know? It just seems to stay. It's so beautiful. It just never seems to change.
What other viscose is going to show you?
Didn't you have some new ones coming?
That one that I think is like confetti, kind of floral. That's a new one. This one's another new one. Again, I think this would look gorgeous for autumn in like a tiered dress. This is crepe.
Oh look,
again.
Look, I'm getting the hang of this. It's like right, yeah.
In fact, I think this is almost slightly crepier than that one. Yeah. You can just see the weight.
Yeah,
of that.
It is. It's heavy.
The other thing this is really gorgeous for is the lining of like a swing coat or something. So in the 1940s, they used to use a lot of crepes and rayon, which is a plant fibre. Basically the same as viscose.
I was just going to say, what's the difference between?
I think rayon is more the American name for it.
So is it similar?
Yeah,
fibre?
They're made from plant cellulose fibres. So there's a whole range of fabrics now which are made from plant cellulose fibres. So Tencel, Cupro, viscose, rayon, they're all plant derived from the cellulose fibres of plants. So a lot of trees and so birch and beech are used a lot in those as well. So I'll get technical now. So you've got natural fibres, which are just straight from the plant, like cotton, linen. Then you've got you've got natural plant-based, natural animal-based. So then you've got your wools, your silks, so things that have come directly from an animal. They're all natural. Then at the other end of the spectrum, you've got synthetic, and that's derived from oil. So they're plastic-based fibres. So then you've got polyester, nylon. So those are plastic. And then you've got in the middle this kind of slight I think we just did that thing where we talked so long that the video cut out. So I was just about to tell you about this, which is another viscose. It's a plain weave, and I think this would make a really lovely Christmas dress. Yeah. It's kind of, but then you could wear it throughout the summer as well. But don't you find that you always think, oh, I'm going to wear something really cosy on Christmas Day, and then it's so bloody hot.
It's roasting.
I know, you've got your cooking, and then you're all, So actually, you really want something a lot more lightweight, with then a nice cardi or something over the top. Yeah. So that I think would make a gorgeous Christmas dress. We have totally gone off topic here. We're just looking at nice fabrics now. What else is new? This one's new, although there's not very much of it left.
That's really.
I know it's black. I know it's not your colour. I've seen this made up in a top and a dress. Someone liked it so much they made 2 garments. Actually the same garment. I think it was the Wren blouse,
Yeah.
I think. And yeah, as a top and as a dress. So
Yeah, but I've done that.
The
If I
ultimate
really
capsule
like something,
wardrobe,
it is
basically.
really nice to. Sometimes you don't want a whole dress, but you know, just a little top to wear with your shorts or something. Or, yeah.
anyway, we probably ought to wrap up.
Yep.
So thank you so much for listening. Is there anything else you wanted to say before we finish?
No, I think that's it on the.
Yeah. All of these products will be mentioned below in the post, and there will be a link to the website so that you can find them if you're interested in buying any of them. I cannot stress enough that I think Rosella is like the ultimate autumn winter dress fabric, and it's just so lovely to wear. And I will be making a pair of trousers in the green, so hopefully next video.
You can borrow my pattern.
Oh, that'd be good. Yeah, it's a really lovely pattern. Can't even remember the name. Anyway,
Anyway,
thank you so much for listening. We'll see you again soon.
see you later. Bye. Bye. Bye.